Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a fun little collab with Alex. She's right here. We are partnering together to do a really fun fall-inspired makeup tutorial. This is actually a look that you guys have asked me to do a couple times, so I've worn it a bunch. And so here we are. So we are playing with the Natasha Denona 28 palette today. Very expensive. Spoiler, totally worth it. It is amazing. So if you want to see how I created this look, then keep watching. So as I mentioned in the intro, I'm using my Natasha Denona palette, which I absolutely love and is completely worth the investment. I'm going into this color here at the top with my fluffy brush, my favorite one. It's a Morphe E17, and I'm just gonna take that in the crease. I also forgot to mention that I primed my eyes using my NARS smudge proof eye primer. This is really great if you have oily lids. I tend to have oily lids, and with the creaminess and the pigmentation of the Natasha Denona palette, the colors have tendency to slip around. So sorry I forgot to mention that, but I'm using my NARS primer on my eyes. So I always like to start with like a matte base in the crease just because I feel like it's habit, first of all. And second of all, just because I feel like it gives a little dimension to the shadow. And with these, they're so easy to use and they're so easy to blend that everything just kind of, as you can see on the side, kind of ends up blending into everything anyway. But I like to put a matte base down. So next I am taking a flat shader brush. This is a Smashbox 4. This thing's a million years old. Smashbox makes really good quality brushes. And I'm going into the third row, second one down here, this kind of coppery warm color. And I'm going to tap off the excess and I'm going to put that, I'm just going to use patting motions to put that all over my lid. So I just put that up to my crease, not blending in too terribly high because I wanted to keep the color concentrated low. As you'll see as I bring in other colors, these things tend to move around and do what they want. Always ends up working out in the end, so I'm not too terribly worried about it, but put that in all the way up to the crease. Now I'm taking a pencil brush. I'm going into the shade right above it, which is more of a warmer kind of coppery tone. I'm just going to put that on the tip and I'm going to blend that into the outer V, kind of like outer third area. It's very technical up in here, I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm very technical with my makeup. Not a makeup artist, just someone who loves the crap out of makeup. So, you know, this is just what I do. So I like how it just kind of like brings a little depth to the outside corner. And then I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush. This is a clean fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna kind of blend everything together. Blend, 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 blend. One of my favorite tricks with eyeshadows to kind of make my eyes look brighter and more awake is to do what's called a halo, which effectively is just putting a little bit of light color right in the center of the lid. So I'm just gonna take my pinky finger into this light color here on the end, and I'm just gonna like dab the tiniest little amount there, and I'm going to pat it on the center of my eyelid. So your eye naturally tends to go where it's brightest, and so if you want to like open up your eye, dabbing a little bit of a lighter shade right in the center of your eye will actually do that for you. And if you think that this is too much in the center, you can always go back in with your original lid color and gently pat over it. So I'm going to do that just to show you guys, like for the purposes of like showing you how to like tone down if you make a mistake. See, I'm just gonna take this original color that I use and just pat it lightly over. So we're still getting the light that the other color brought in behind it, but then a little bit of a softer color, so it just blends a teensy bit better. Now I'm gonna go back to that clean blending brush, and I'm just gonna blend and make sure everything looks good. One of the main things when using this palette and any Natasha Denona products I've noticed especially is that there's a ton of fallout. So I never do my foundation first. I always like do my eyes and keep like a pack of wipes with me to clean up underneath before I start going into my skin. So I'm going to do my inner corner highlight, which I'm probably gonna end up putting like concealer over, but I wanted to show you guys. I'm going into the shade here, center, and then one right there, and obviously all of the names are on the screen, so if you have the palette, you know which ones to use, and if you don't, you can look it up and see if there's anything that you like. I really love this color for the highlight. This like shimmery metallic peach, just like bam, it just like makes your face like alive. And you'll notice that I didn't use a ton of shadows because I am not a ton of shadows look kind of girl. I like what I like. I like 2 to 5 shadows at most, and mostly just to make a nice kind of cool blended look and not to do anything like too terribly crazy. So now that I'm done with the eyeshadow, I feel like this is good. It's really easy. I'm gonna grab a wipe and I'm going to clean up the ton of fallout that I have. And if you guys can tell, but I have like a ton of fallout right here. So I'm just going to clean it up. So, oh, look at all that fallout. That is a ton of fallout. But as long as you know going into it that these shadows have a lot of fallout and you know to do your foundation after you do your eyes, you know, then you're pretty good. So now that that's all clean, I'm just gonna fan it right. We are gonna go back into our eyeshadow in a little bit, but right now I'm going to get my skin ready for foundation. So I'm trying a new primer today. It's new to me, and it is the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing. I really tend to prefer pore minimizing primers to basically any other kind of primer. My favorite one so far has been the Benefit Porefessional. That one's really great. Makeup Forever has one as well, but I got this one in a, I think it was a sample box somewhere, I'm not sure where, and I figured I'd, you know, have a go. So with pore, if you have like an issue with pores and you want to like fill your pores, or you feel like your pores are always showing in your makeup, make sure that you like push it into the skin and not just drag, but like actually push it into your pores so it fills it up. You can kind of already see that like it makes such a difference. I feel it too for girls who don't like to wear like a lot of foundation, because the foundation I'm going to be using today is really full coverage. I like to just put this stuff on right before I go out for the day, even if I'm not wearing like foundation, just because I like the way that it blurs the pores and kind of makes the skin look a little more even. And today's foundation is, let me check it out. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. This is a foundation that I came across a while ago. It has rapidly turned into one of my absolute favorites. By the way, I hear you guys on wanting a foundation favorites video. That is definitely coming. I want to demo each one, so I'm gonna have like a really cool video put together. Just give me like another week or so. But this is actually my favorite one. When I'm filming, I'm usually wearing this one. It's gonna, I'm just gonna put one pump on the back of my hand. It's going to give you, like I said, full coverage, but it is also going to settle a little bit. So you want to be careful, but for my girls who want a lot of coverage, this is a foundation that you're really going to love. I'm going to take this ring off because I feel like we are getting into like foundation trouble here a little bit. So I just like to dot it kind of all over my face and concentrate it in the places that I need the most coverage. I think a lot of girls take it to the edge first, and like you really usually just need coverage from the center of your face and outward. So yeah, concentrate it where you need it. I'm just gonna use a beauty blender to pick up the excess on my hand, and then I'm going to work it into the skin, avoiding the under eye area where you put your concealer so it doesn't cake up, because we're dealing with a full coverage foundation. It has tendency to settle, so like I mentioned, so be careful and just bounce and blend, bounce and blend. Okay, so that is one pump. As you guys can see, I have it's a mask. It's a really good mask. Nice and blended down into the neck. I think it matches my skin tone really nice. Right now this light is so bright that like it's not showing how tan I am. I'm kind of a little olivey, but yeah. Okay, so now that we are all nice and blended, I'm gonna go in with concealer. The one I am loving lately is the Urban Decay Naked Skin. So I just take whatever is left on the beauty blender and I just kind of bob it down the center, because the shade is so nice and light. It also kind of does double duty as a highlighter. I really, really love it. I'm going to be trying out something that's got a little more coverage to it, even though I do feel like this is a really good one, because I feel like I haven't been sleeping very well and I'm getting like hella dark circles under my eyes, so it would be great to have something maybe a little more heavy duty, but it's very nice and light and weightless. So now that we're done, I'm not really into baking. I feel like I need to say that. Everyone's like all about that baking life. I'm not. So I'm just gonna take my Anastasia contour kit, and I'm gonna mix these two shades together, the banana kind of yellow shade and then this baby pink shade. I kind of mix those two together, and then I just like kind of tap and set the concealer. I just feel like it gives me the lightness that I need, the coverage that I need, and I'm not gonna get flashback. So recently I was using the Makeup Forever translucent powder, and I set my under eye with it because it was all I had and it was all that was nearby. And I had my photo taken, and then when I looked at the picture, I had like major under eye flashback. And I was like, okay. Sometimes when you know, and so you don't want to mess with it. Oh, also, I forgot to tell you what I'm doing. I'm taking that light pink shade and I'm kind of dragging it down because I like to keep these areas of my face, this area and this area here, nice and light. And I feel like a matte pink actually really does that beautifully. So I love this kit. I will reuse this like for the rest of my life. And before I get too terribly into powders and settings and all that, even though this is technically a fall look, I'm all about bronzer, and especially when you're doing a full coverage foundation, it takes away the shadows and planes of your face, so you really want to add those back in. So I've recently picked up this Cover FX, the liquid bronzer. This is the shade Sunkissed, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of that. It's a beautiful brown. On the back of my hand, I just take about 4 drops, 2, 3, 4. And then I dab them in the places that I want around my face just to kind of darken. So around the hairline, anywhere that you would bronze normally, kind of down here. And then I'll do it on the other side. You do want to work kind of fast with this. So I'll just go back in with my Beauty Blender using the tush side of it. That's what I like to call it, the butt side. And then just blending it in. I feel like it just like warms up the skin beautifully. And you can kind of contour with it. But I feel like it just adds that little bit of warmth that a full coverage foundation takes away from your face. It's just really, really beautiful. And cream contours are just, or cream products are just so nice to use. I think it's just a nice change of pace. I'm just gonna grab the rest of it on the back of my hand and putting it on here. It's just a nice change of pace from powders, I think. Okay, next up is brows. I'm sure you guys know how to do your brows, so I'm going to go ahead and do them off camera because they do take a while, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, brows are done. They're looking a little extra, but I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm feeling a bit of an extra brow these days, so it's okay. I'm going to be highlighting underneath them with this Hella Old pencil from a company that doesn't exist anymore. I'm gonna sharpen it. It's a matte pink brightener. And the most comparable product I've seen today that you can get right now is the Sephora has a pencil like this. It's the brow highlighter, and I believe it's just called matte pink, and also Benefit's highbrow. There's a shimmer version and a matte version. I prefer the matte version. I like a matte under eye cream to set or to highlight with, and then I feel like if you wanted to add a shimmer you could, but this is my everyday go-to. So I just like to trace beneath the brow and do like a nice strong line to highlight, to define, and then I'm going to add a little bit, even though we did a highlight, I'll have to go over that again. See, we're not makeup artists here. We're just people who love the crap out of makeup. Okay, and the little brush I'm using is actually just a little concealer brush I got. I believe it was in like a Crown brush kit. I just like having a little concealer brush around to kind of blend this in, but any concealer brush will do. And obviously you guys don't have to use any of the products that I use in this video. I will say with like, to get kind of a foiled metallic look like the one I have, you probably want to go with like maybe like a L'Oreal Infallible if they still make those. Makeup Geek has some beautiful foiled shadows. Makeup Forever has some beautiful foiled shadows as well. So that's good. You guys can definitely get the same look with other products. Okay, so now that that's blended, we have like our nice big like boom highlight, like boom highlight. I'm gonna go back in, because I always feel like I maybe go a little extra on my highlighter. I just go back in and always like just kind of soften the edges with my clean blending brush. There we go. And then I'm gonna set my brows using my NYX brow gel. I feel like it's time to go get my brows done again too. I just feel like it's time. Okay, I'm just gonna enhance that highlighter with that color I used earlier. I'm just gonna go over the matte a little bit. And then, so my next step, I mean, obviously this whole thing is optional, but the next step is super optional. I know this is a collab with Alex, and Alex is actually someone who has mentioned very recently in one of her videos that she's not a big fan of a lot of color on the underneath the eye area. I am. I feel like it adds a little bit of like a rock star edge to like every look that I do. So I'm going to go back into with my pencil brush, and I'm going to take a combination of the two colors that I used on the lid, starting with the darker of the two colors, which is the top shade. I'm going to just start blending that in underneath the eye, just to kind of intensify it. I really like this for my girls who are like into a more rock star-y kind of look. I feel like it just kind of ties everything together. Also, if you wear contacts and you find that you can't put an eyeliner on the waterline, no matter what eyeliner it is, it just smudges and ends up on your contacts. This is kind of another way to get a little more eye definition. I have tried almost every eyeliner under the sun. It doesn't work for me, but giving me a little color underneath, I feel like still gives me the same vibe as if I did have something in the waterline, without the kind of fear of it ending up all over my contacts. So I'm just taking this down, about halfway, and I'm like barely touching these shadows. If you have them, you know. If you're considering getting it, highly recommended, but very pigmented, so barely touching. But see how we get like a nice shape. I'm going to intensify it even further by taking that second shade. I'm just gonna bring that kind of here and connect the color. I go into like mascara face every time I do makeup. I'm like, so I had the lighter color here, the darker color here. I'm just gonna use that main lid color to kind of bridge the two together. And then again, go in with a clean brush, and I'm just gonna blend things together to kind of bring it down a little bit more, and it adds a little bit more of that like edgier rock star look. I just think that looks really cool. This may not work for you guys. It may feel like it's a little bit much. Sometimes this can actually make people look a little ill. So, you know, just, it's makeup. You do you. You do you, boo-boo. Okay. So next I'm going into my Benefit Cheekathon, and I feel like with a fall look, I want to make kind of my cheeks a little like plummy, purpley, and so when I was thinking about what cheek color to do, because I feel like that's a big stress too when you're wearing like color on the lid, like what cheeks do I do? What do I do? For this look in particular, like I said, I'm going to do it plummy, so I think I'm going to do a mixture of Dallas and the Rockateur. So I'm going to grab my, where'd it go? Angled brush. Here we go, angled blush brush. I'm just going to go into Dallas, and Dallas is kind of a medium, kind of plummy shade, and I'm going to not smile, but I'm going to find the apples of my cheeks and then bring the color back just a little bit to the hairline. I like that. I feel like it just kind of makes it more like a natural flush kind of thing. I don't know. So just gonna do the same on this side, just on the cheek, and then bring it back. And I always like to start light and then intensify if I want to, because you never know. Sometimes you get a color and it's just like, and then you look like you got shot in the face with a makeup gun, and it's not so cute. So this is Dallas, and then I think just to add like a ton of sheen, just like a little tiny bit. We're gonna do a shit ton of glow though, you guys. I'm just gonna go with Rockateur, which is a very sheer, kind of like shimmery color, and I'm just gonna layer that over. I just feel like it adds so much dimension, and it's so pretty. And I do want to point out, you guys, that I have not like officially contoured or anything, so this is just, you know, is what it is. So that's that, and then I'm going to go in with my highlighter next. If you guys watched me haul this on Snapchat, I had a bomb time opening this. I'm going into a new product. I've actually never used it. This is the first time. Natasha Denona Glow in the shade 1. I'm really not a fan of like how she names her products, which she doesn't really. They're just like palette 8 and palette 2 and blue. Boring. Anyway, so it is a beautiful kind of light, peachy, warm kind of menagerie of deliciousness. That's where I am today, guys. I'm going in there with my Morphe 501, which I love. As every other Natasha Denona product, there's a crap ton of fallout. And let's just work this in and see how it, oh, you guys, look at the magic that is happening here. This is pretty, holy jeez. As you can tell, I like to take it like kind of up and around. This is so nice. Okay, down a little bit here, down the nose. Oh, can we have a minute for the nose highlight? Girl. Okay, and then Cupid's bow. Just a little bit. I love this. It reminds me of the Kevin Aucoin Candlelight. Holy Moses, that's pretty. Okay, well, here we are. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. One of the things I did want to do, I forgot to do. I'm gonna go back into my Anastasia contour kit just for a hot second. I'm not really too terribly big on like the nose contour thing, but one trick I do love, and this is especially awesome for my babes who feel like their bottom lip, they want like a little more pout, a little more like juice to it. Get a clean, fluffy brush. I'm looking for one right now. We're gonna go with this one. Clean, fluffy brush, and go into your contour shade. So in this palette, for example, that would be the shade here. Get a little bit on the top of the brush, kick it off, and then just go, look, right underneath the pout. Can we have a moment? Oh, my Lanta. The sexiness. The sexiness. Okay, just like a little bit more. Just like a little bit more. Maybe a little nose contour, how about that? Just like a little. This is gonna be that video, isn't it? Where it's like, oh, just a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's like, I didn't know what I was going to do when I sat down to do this video, you guys, and I feel like I feel like I should go sing Pat Benatar on stage or something right now. Okay, so we are mostly done. I'm just going to set with my Urban Decay All-Nighter. I always do this before mascara, and I'll tell you why. I always do mascara last, because I feel like every time I do mascara, I'm like impatient. I don't have time to wait, right? So I just do my mascara and then I walk out and then I blink, and then like, because my lashes are wet from the spray, they end up like all the way down here. So I always like do this first, and then I do my lips, and then I do my mascara. So I am trying out a new mascara today. But I'll get to that in a second, because I'm going to do lips first, as previously mentioned. I'm going to do kind of a pinky nude lip with this, because I don't want to go too nude, but I do want to add a little bit of color, but I don't want to like, you know, go too pink with it. So I'm using a combination of the NYX lip pencil in Natural and the Urban Decay lipstick in Naked. So pencil out, we're going to line. You can overline a little bit, that's fine too. If you want to like get your juicy pout on, like, girl, you have at it. You have at it. I think the resurgence of lip liners, by the way, as a trend in makeup has been one of the most amazing and glorious things ever, because now everybody always looks poppin'. Okay, so I just filled that in a little tiny bit, and the cool thing about makeup is, like, I really like this look. If I wanted to just stop here, I absolutely could. Put a little bit of balm over it and we're good to go. But I do love this lipstick. I picked this up a little bit ago. The new formula is great. I love the new packaging, and this color is TDF. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm just gonna slap it on. Perfect. So see how it's kind of like a subtle color that complements the eye makeup, it doesn't compete with it too much? I love this color. And the last thing is mascara. So I'm gonna curl my lashes, and then I'm trying out a new to me, I actually think it is kind of just new. It's a Tartiste mascara. I have no idea if it's any good or not, so I guess we'll find out together. So we're just gonna clampy clamp. And let's take a look and see if this stuff's any good. I also feel like too, if you guys are really comfortable with your eyeliner and doing wing liner, this look would be fierce with like a really strong wing. That being said, I am not at that level. Okay, so it's got a rubbery brush, which I really like. And then, ooh, hello. Good morning. Good morning, lashes. All right, Tarte, I'm listening. All right. You guys, I feel like the worst possible thing that could happen to me right now is that I like have to sneeze. I feel like that would be the end of my life. But okay, so I hit the top lashes a couple times, little tiny bit on the bottom lash just for some definition, and that is it. We're gonna take the hair down, we're gonna shake it out. Okay guys, so that is it for my fall tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to go check out Alex, she's right here, and her gorgeous fall look. I'm so excited that we got to collab together. We've been trying to figure out a way to do this, and since we both love fall more than like basically anything, we figured this would be the perfect way to collab. Don't forget to go over there and see her tutorial, and then subscribe to her while you're there. And then don't forget to hit like and subscribe to me while you're here, and I will see you next time. Bye!